From Toronto, where I still haven't managed to come up with something witty to say in these little moments, it's Ed the Sock Lives! Coming to you from the studios of Pigeon Row! Alright, come to me. Yeah, come to me now. Go now. Very slow. Hey, how are you? Welcome to the show.
It's always very slow.
What's that?
Don't
Don't talk about yourself like that. Don't be so rough on yourself.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those weeks.
All right, so I'm glad to be back. It's been a few weeks. Numerous circumstances, Jewish holidays, other things got in the way. During that time, I took advantage of the time to stock up my survivalist shelter. So in Toronto, if I say to anybody, if you find there's a shortage of toilet paper and Pez, well, you snooze, you lose. All right, so I'm all set. And tonight we're going to talk about the Harvey Weinstein thing, because how can we not? Boo. What do you mean? What do you mean, boo? You don't want to talk about it? What do I care what you want to do?
Boo.
All right, we're gonna.
No, of course we want to talk about it, but
Okay, it doesn't really matter. You get no vote. We're going to talk about Harvey Weinstein, and a special guest today is going to be a big guest, Andrew Fung from. No, not now, Andrew. Not now. Later. No, Andrew. Wait, this is in the interview now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Go use the couch.
Okay.
Just sit there.
It's just sticky.
Don't use that one. Use the other one.
Okay.
All right. So as you see,
talk about the sticky couch.
Andrew Fung will be joining us. We'll do an interview, talk about his role in Kim's Convenience and other things. And if you notice in the background, there's a human being. That would be Moose.
Moose.
Moose is just here. Okay, it's nothing to do with the show. We showed up. Moose is here. Moose is staying. So he's a domesticated moose, so we don't really mind. So we're good. All right. I want to address myself to all. What are you doing? I look at the corner of my eye, and there's Giada doing like some kind of ballet pirouette, running back to her.
I was just running.
Oh yeah, share this on Facebook. Thank you, Leanna. Don't forget to share this on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up. Tell people we're here. That's the hardest part. There is so much on the internet, and it's all shit. Like 98% of it is shit. And that 98% represents a huge volume of time that you'll be wasting. So tell people we're here, cut through the noise, share on Facebook, and Patreon.com, throw us a few bucks, because as you can see, we need it. Patreon.com, Ed the Sock Live, send us some money. Come on, $5 a month, $10 a month, that's 2 coffees that I've saved you from being ripped off. Okay, $10, 2 coffees. I've saved you from being ashamed of yourself twice. What did you say?
I said, or a smoothie.
Or a smoothie?
Because, nowadays people buy $10, $15 smoothies.
I've never bought a $15 smoothie.
Yeah, you haven't, but a lot of people.
What idiot pays $15 for? The smoothie would be big enough for me to take a bath in.
You can make it home for $3.
We live in West Queen West, and there's a lot.
Anthony says they're over at West Queen West.
Ed set the cameras this week, and I'm noticing something about the cameras this week that's been different from other weeks.
What's that?
Okay.
No, the prominence of cleavage.
Well, that's because you wore that shirt.
No, I have worn this shirt before.
You look at
and
that.
It did not look like
You decided this week it's a guest appearance by the twins.
I look like a granny in a trailer park.
The Wonder Twins. You don't look like. Listen, you don't look like anybody's granny.
No.
Have you ever been to trailer parks?
No,
Grannies
no.
are 40.
Grannies.
That's actually a very good point.
Grannies are 40.
Would that make you a gilf?
A gilf.
Yeah.
What's a
gilf? What's a gilf?
Grandma, I'd like to. Yeah.
I still believe.
Ed, you were saying on Twitter, yummy
Grandma,
mummy
Yeah.
is milk.
I still believe that the old term of yummy mummy was much more respectful than MILF.
Now, what's the granny version of that?
Gilf. Shut up! Why are you talking to me? You're off camera. I like when Raya's here. She never says anything. Raya is ill, so we hope she feels better. She decided not to spread that illness tonight. And Lonnie isn't here, if you're wondering. He's got clients on the ice. Don't take any euphemism from that. He actually does hockey stuff. So I told him that we'd make fun of him because he's not here. All right. Now, I'd like to address myself. Since our last show... Are you still talking? Yeah. I'm talking. Since our last show, the seasons have changed. All right? We've gone from summer, which is my favorite season.
Me too.
Yours too? Good. Someone else sane. We've gone from summer, which is my favorite season, to fall, which I hate. with the passion of 1,000 suns. And I want to address myself to those of you out there who say, I love fall. Shut up. All right,
Fall
yeah,
is
no,
nice. Fall
no,
is nice.
fall is horrible.
I love
Fall is
the
a terrible
sweaters.
time. You're sick people. You know those beautiful leaves you see? You go, oh, look at the beautiful colors. Look at
They
the
are
beautiful.
beautiful
Yeah,
colors.
you know what they are? They're corpses. Okay, they're all a bunch of dead, dry leaves.
Wow.
And you guys walk on them, and you put them in a pile and jump on them. You're jumping in a pile of dead leaves. The falling dead.
They
You
make such
sick
a sweet
bastards.
sound, though.
Yeah, sure they make
crunch.
it. Yeah, if you jump on a bunch of corpses after a little while, they'll snap too.
Nothing.
The best-
Corpses change color.
The best is when your dog goes and rolls in the leaves and there's another
Yeah.
dog's poo in the leaves.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so you've got
wait.
like a dog pooping on another dog like pigeons.
And you don't notice that your
That's
dog
not
rolled in
nice.
that leafy
Yeah.
poo and you roll in that leafy poo?
That does not happen because I use my dog in as like the canary in the mine shaft. If the dog comes out clean, then I will roll.
You know, fall's actually not a season.
See, I just
What do you mean
like,
fall's not a season?
It's actually autumn.
Oh.
You're right.
Oh, don't be a
Semantics.
dick.
Fall's a North American term.
Wait,
and
Nick,
autumn
you-
is-
Nick was the epicenter of culture for this bit.
I know.
Yeah,
The first time that I agree
straight
with
to
Nick.
hell.
What just happened?
I don't know.
I don't know.
think
Nick
it's gonna
decided he was
snow
gonna.
tonight.
Wait, what?
Somebody crawling along.
Andrew,
What?
what? I
Just
told
trying
you
to
this.
stay out of the camera shot.
What are you-
I thought I was out of the frame.
Are you jet lagged?
No, you're not out of frame, Nick.
And we're back to normal.
Nick, he's a guest.
Yes.
What are
The
you?
moment is gone.
What are you doing?
One moment
I don't love the
silence
replay on
and
that.
then-
I just want. I was just thirsty, and there's the waters in the green room, but they're all really warm, and I thought maybe there'd be like a cold one in the fridge. They're also all they've been opened and they've been resealed with glue, so I just feel like you're just reusing water bottles. So I just
'Cause
thought
we
maybe I'd
are.
get, like a new one. So I'm just staying out of the frame.
Good. It'll be a All right.
That might have been the earliest TTT in this whole show.
TTT.
Time to train wreck.
Time to train wreck. All right. All right.
TTT. Well, that comes from TTP, which is a gaming term for time to penis.
Oh.
It's the.
Why are you taking mayonnaise?
Why are there three jars? But why 3
I
jars?
don't know why there's 3 jars
Why?
of mayonnaise, and there's no water bottle, so I don't know. I'm very nervous.
Should we warm that up?
What are you doing?
Should we warm that up?
He's warming it up by hugging it like a lover.
I'm trying to stay out of frame, like you said.
Do you want a spoon?
Oh, there's a bottle of water. I'll take
Oh,
this.
oh,
Got it.
oh.
Okay, good. As long as you don't disrupt the show or anything.
Sorry.
Careful. There are
Sorry.
laser beams around.
Sorry. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so we'll be talking about Harvey Weinstein a little bit later in
Well, I
the
think
show.
we already saw a reenactment of Harvey Weinstein.
What's that?
Nick's little shadow.
Oh yeah,
puppet
Nick's thing there. All
Puppet?
right.
Yeah, your shadow puppet.
Okay. So we'll be talking about Harvey Weinstein, and Andrew Fung will be here from Kim's Convenience on CBC.
Hey, I'm here. Hey. Every time.
Andrew, as God is my witness, Andrew, there will be trouble.
I'm very nervous. I'm sorry.
I have the noisiest.
Frickin'
chair.
actors, man. Actors, so starved for attention. And now what are you doing redecorating?
I've got a really noisy chair.
You're gonna get a ninja chair now?
If people would donate money to this place, I'd have a chair with springs in it.
Don't talk nuts.
The
All right.
the chairs are pretty bad here.
All right,
I sat
so-
in one of those chairs before, and it like Harvey Weinstein my buttocks.
Anyone have a violin?
I think I have
All
a
right.
chair.
Well, I have this. Wait a second.
What?
I have this.
Oh, not on Weenus
That's
again.
not a violin.
Oh no.
No, that's not a violin.
No. It's
That's the
kinda-
penis with ennui,
That's a
otherwise known as
It's a
ennui.
violin. There. Hey.
All right, just catching up on some news. Earlier today, the United States withdrew from UNESCO, which upset a lot of people who had before today never heard of UNESCO.
Come on.
UNESCO is the UN organization for, it spreads education and culture. And exactly what about the Trump administration indicates that they would be interested in anything to do with education or culture? You know, Israel's joining us in quitting.
Yeah, that's what happened today.
Yeah, they say they're quitting U.S. is quitting UNESCO over an anti-Israel bias. Now, if the U.S. wants to quit every UN agency that has an anti-Israel bias, they will have to leave the entire United Nations. That was the thing. The thing is, it's not a big deal. Everyone's been reporting like it's a disaster. Reagan took them out of it before, then Clinton took them back in. It's sort of a revolving door. Besides which, does anyone here know what UNESCO actually does?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do they do?
They protect heritage sites.
Like what?
Well, like the things that ISIS was blowing up in Syria.
Yeah, good job they did, huh?
They are not exactly competent, but in practice, it's like in theory.
I want to start a place, UNESCO, where I get to declare things that are heritage sites for me. Like the Paddock Tavern downtown at Spadina. They've renovated since I was last there, but yeah, the Paddock is a good place. What other? Giada
is one of us
Sorry.
now.
Giada, we got this fart
I
machine
had to
thing.
do it.
Show them.
Show them the fart
It's been
machine.
too long. It's
Unless
been
they
too
think it
long.
was you.
Giada's been like, what, a month without Dr. Fart?
I know.
Because-
Here,
been a
here,
tough
Dr.
time
Oh,
for
Fart.
wait, I switched cameras.
All right, there,
This
Dr.
is a weird
Fart.
angle. The cleavage angle is strange.
Well, it's hard to not get cleavage with those things hanging there.
In the
Never.
Not really hanging, they're actually up far enough to be your chin.
I have a scarf.
In the
have a
brand new
shirt over my
UNESCO, does
Yeah.
that mean that like 299 Queen Street West is a?
Yes,
is
299
considered-
Queen
we knocked
Street
that
West.
place over with a wrecking ball.
No, 299 Queen Street West would be a heritage site, and I would go there and throw everybody out who doesn't belong. I would take off that horrible mural in the parking lot. That's where there used to be the mural of City TV Much Music, and now they're this, I don't know who the hell made this mural. You could clearly see that white people commissioned someone to make a mural that looks like people of other cultures, because only white people would say, hey, that's a great idea, that looks great. It's awful. If you're the artist, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, yes, I do mean to insult you. It's terrible work, yes, Leanna?
Can I nominate some things for a UNESCO site?
Yeah,
The giant objects around Edmonton, like the giant boot.
the giant boot. I don't know, I don't have very much attachment to it.
That giant metal rooster in Gasoline Alley between Red Deer and, what was it? No, between Calgary and Edmonton. That giant metal rooster, that has to be a UNESCO.
Well,
and the Teapot Museum.
The Teapot Museum, yes, at Gasoline Alley for sure. It's not really a museum, it's a teapot emporium where they have all kinds of teapots. Like all kinds of different, like you'd never believe there were this many different teapots. And the ladies that run it, lovely ladies, batshit insane. All right, like
is Kim's Convenience a UNESCO site?
yes, yeah, the actual Kim's Convenience that's actually out there now called Kim's Convenience. That's a UNESCO site. I have to come up with some more UNESCO sites.
The original Hagen's chicken.
The original? No, I've never been to the original Hagen's Chicken. Shut up, this isn't you, it's me. Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about Harvey Weinstein, but maybe now we should bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, go upstairs now. Go up the stairs. Go up.
Oh, are UNESCO sites only in Canada or are they international?
They can be anywhere. All right, you ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're glad to have with us today the star of the award-winning CBC hit sitcom, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Fung. Don't be an asshole, Andrew.
Yay!
There he is.
Give him a welcome fart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There he is.
We're here.
All right.
We're here.
All right, here he is, Andrew
here.
Fung. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Now, people don't know that you're actually an improv guy.
Yeah. Improv comedy. It's been my
Improv,
jam.
and is that how you wound
my
up
jam.
on Kim's Convenience?
Actually, yeah, kind of. They Ince Choi, the writer and creator of Kim's Convenience, he was in Edmonton for the Fringe Festival, and he came down and checked out my improv show. And then he told me about the show, and then that's how I got looped into the casting of it. And then
Now, how do you pronounce that guy? His name is spelled I-N-S.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Inns? Innis?
Inns.
Inns. Like outs.
Ins
The
and
opposite
outs.
of outs.
Yeah.
Inns.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, because I don't want to make an ass of myself when I
Nope.
meet him. All right, because of course I'll meet him, because all of us who are important in cultural industries here in Canada. Sorry, I can't even finish that sentence. So on Kim's Convenience, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, it's on CBC Tuesdays at 9. And you know I usually shit on Canadian TV with good reason. But when something's good, I have to say so. And Kim's Convenience is good. It is smart. It is funny. It's relevant. The characters are ones you can relate to, even if you're not Korean. In fact, it doesn't even matter what you are, you can relate to them. And it's a really good, smart show. And it's about a Korean family. The mother and father are immigrants, been here a long time. The children were born here, the daughter and son. And it focuses on their variety store mostly, with Appa and Amma, the mother and father, and how they interact with the kids. And you play Kimchee, which is the son Jung's best friend and roommate, right?
Yeah, I play Kimchee. I'm like a fast-talking, trash-talking best friend. I'm looking out for Chung, and I get us in trouble sometimes, and it's really fun.
Now, for those who are maybe a little older can remember this, remember the Boogerman character from every like 80s movie? There'd be like the popular guy, then his loser friend, like his name was like, oh, Boogerman. Like, that's the character you sort of represent, but you're not playing it one note. Like those guys were all one note. I always hated them. You're actually a guy who's calculated to be lovable, but actually is, as opposed to being somebody I want to punch in the face.
Well, that's super nice. And I think in the early episodes, when we were filming them, the director said to me, Andrew, is Kimchee like a dumbass, or is he a genius? And I looked at him and I'm like, no, he's a genius. So my approach is that Kimchee's always the smartest guy in the room, and he's always right. So I think if with that mentality, I think it's kind of shifted the character a bit, and they've given me like lots of opportunities to play with the character and grow him.
That's great. I'm over here. Yeah. Where the hell are you looking?
I was looking at the camera.
You're looking right at the camera.
I didn't.
Freaking camera hog actors.
All
right.
It's true though. Kimchee is the one that tends to be right. Like Jung's the one with bad ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kimchee thinks everyone else is wrong. Everyone's dumb. Why would you want to work harder and be the assistant manager when you could make the same amount of money and just work in the back and do nothing, right?
Notice he's talking to us, Ed, while he's saying
I'm trying to be inclusive. There's this guy, Anthony, over here too, and Moose in the back. Moose could be watching porn, and none of us can know right now. Like, I just want to put that out there. Like, none of us.
You always know when someone's watching porn.
Yeah.
We always. How do you know? How do you know?
Well,
What if they put a poker face?
Come on, you don't know what it's like to watch porn?
if you can
liar.
watch porn with a poker face, it's
But
not
I
like
know how.
porn. I'm sorry.
You
Like,
can tell
there's-
by the proximity to the screen. So if you're like watching a movie, you're back far. If you're watching a
There's-
porn, you're kind of proud.
There's lots of face
you're
poking
trying to
that goes
hide
on
it, obviously,
in
yes.
porn, that's for sure.
Man,
All right,
CBC is going to be so thrilled with this appearance, Andrew.
all right.
Like
So-
20 minutes porn.
So let me ask you something. Like
Yeah.
Kim's Convenience it's not a silly sitcom. It's actually about people that people can recognize. Not necessarily that, hey, I know that Kim guy. It's actually people you know. These are like archetypes of people that people know. And it talks about some pretty good deep issues. Doesn't do deep dives, but it does enough to get people talking and to think about it. Do you ever feel the pressure on that show? How do you walk you don't write it, so why the hell am I asking you? But in case you knew something, how do you walk the line between preachy and just saying something with humor?
Well, I think it's from top to bottom. It's like the team of writers is always looking for, opportunities to tell stories, and they're very critical of their work. The writers work really hard, and the cast works really hard. The team works really hard, and I think that when everyone works really hard and you care about what you're doing, I think at the end of the day you'll be able to tell good stories. And what I love about Kim is that it's grounded. I think when you ground the world, then you're able to have room to have fun and to comment on things happening in the world. I think that's what's worked out well. Like, Appa has these points of view that relates to what other Canadians think, but it's grounded in a person that's just curious, and he's grounded in a person that's just who cares about his family. So I think that's what kind of works on the show, and that's how we're able to do it.
Good, and you looked over here this time. That's great. You train easily. Now, is your character's given name actually Kimchee?
It's his nickname.
Yeah, because isn't kimchi a Korean food?
It is a Korean food, and maybe we'll get to learn Kimchee's real name at some point in the show.
Well, I mean, he could be called Kimchee.
Yeah.
I mean, what's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow named her kid Apple. That's a food.
Yeah, that's a food.
And over here, Nick named his cat Pizza.
That's true.
You name Cat Pizza?
Yeah.
Yo, that's a dope name.
Yeah.
That's a
So.
good name.
That's a
So
good
you
name.
could be Kimchee.
I could be Kimchee. I think it's more of like a nickname. The nickname that kid in your crew would have growing up. So
You know what I like about this answer? is that some actors are like, they know, I remember I had to know what this character was like in the first grade, who the character's first love was, what their favorite food is, when they had the chicken pox as a child. You know, all this bullshit about... They have
What
to know
actors are
everything
that?
about-
That's so detailed.
Yeah, they're like these method actor shit. But it's like you don't even know if your character's real name is Kimchee.
Just like blindly
Yeah,
go
and that
through it.
is it. Because acting is supposed to be acting, not psychosis. You're not supposed to be the talented Mr. Ripley. You know, you're supposed to actually be performing another character. So I'm glad that you don't even know what the character's real name is.
I like Kimchee just because he's Kimchee to me was immediately your friend, your pal. And growing up, I had a friend in our group. His name was Newfie. We called him Newfie because he was
Wow,
from...
that's sensitive.
Because he was from Newfoundland.
Yeah,
And
I kind of figured that might be why.
I know, and that was the nickname we gave him. So like,
Yeah, not the nickname he chose, I should point out.
well, like he chose it. He was on board. Why are you putting
On board does not mean he chose it.
He chose it.
Peer
Like
pressure, Kimchee.
No, I see what you're doing. I see what's going on. No, that was his nickname.
That
He
little
was
I
part
see
of
what's
it.
going on, cultural appropriation.
No, it's not. Stop it.
Just having fun with you.
You are. It's intimidating. It's intimidating. But it's just like that was a friend thing to do. So I play it very much like a friend and your buddy, your pal.
All right. Now, you're very excited, by the way,
Yeah, I'm very excited.
about a movie you're going to see tomorrow night.
Yo!
Told you he was excited.
The Foreigner with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Oh, broken Jackie Chan. Like, you know, he's had enough. Stuff's going down. We get to see Jackie Chan unleashed. And I think every kid who grew up watching Jackie Chan movies has been waiting for this moment. Because we've seen enough of Jackie Chan in the corner saying, I don't want no trouble, right? We all know that.
Yep.
He fights his way out of it with ladders and chairs. But I want to see broken Jackie Chan and what he's capable of.
Kind of like Batman in The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of like that.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I've seen the trailer for the movie, and it's like basically picture Jackie Chan playing Liam Neeson in one of Liam Neeson's action movies, and that's kind of what it looks like. And he's going to be doing a dramatic turn, and you're very excited.
I'm so excited because I think it's like a new wave of Jackie Chan movies, and the idea is like Jackie
Yeah,
Chan.
they thought that the last Terminator would be a new wave of Terminator movies too.
Well, like we look at
Man
Jackie
plans,
Chan's
God laughs.
Jackie Chan's last 5 movies probably haven't been very good, right? And aside from like the Rush Hour series, you know, I feel like there's not much that gets us excited anymore about those old Jackie Chan movies because he's changed as an actor. He's grown. Drunken Master, yeah.
Best.
But like he's released like a bunch of police stories since then, and people like
Steve
haven't.
Gutenberg in those?
No,
No.
police story.
Michael
like,
Winslow, the guy that made the stuff with his mouth?
No,
it's not that.
No, it's different. It's
Okay.
different. You're thinking of Police Academy.
Oh,
You're thinking of
sorry.
Police Academy.
All right.
And after Mission to Moscow, they were done. That
I'm very,
Mission to Moscow. Yeah,
I'm very
Mission to
impressed.
Moscow.
You know what?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank
you
you.
understand culture. You
Understand
respect culture.
Yes,
Good
I-
for
I
you.
bought into a
Instant
police academy.
respect. All right. So that you're excited about that. You're gonna
Yeah.
now you're gonna go out to the movie
Yeah.
with Simu Liu, who's also one of the stars. We've had him on this show.
That's right.
Kim's Convenience. Do you find yourself being recognized?
I think I feel like I do. And I think it's
You
because
feel like you do or you do?
I do.
When you
I
look
do.
in the mirror in the morning.
I do. And I think it's because I look like Kimchee. I think like for me like
You know why? Because you play him.
I play him. Yeah.
Without a mask.
But also like if you meet Paul who plays Appa on the show, Paul in his day-to-day life he wears like a Blue Jays cap.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear Appa's clothes. He looks different, and when he plays Appa physically, he is totally different. And so
And people don't even realize this, that Paul also plays B.J. Birdie down at the Sky Dome during the Blue Jay games. People don't, that's not true.
I think now that you said it though, I think Paul would be very down to be part of that.
That's not true. All right. Now, but so when people recognize you,
Yeah.
do they, like, is it sort of one of those things where they sort of look and nod? Or do they come up and say, hey, I've seen you on the show? Or what do they do?
They look and nod. Some people look and nod. Some people like I was at a Jays game over the summer and it was crazy because people would come up and they'd be like, "Hey, Kimchee, took a photo with me," and or like, "Hey, you write a food blog?" And I'm like, "No, I'm on Kim's Convenience." Like, "That's where I know you from." Or like girls will scream like Kimchee, and it's really nice. Or like in day-to-day life, like you'll meet like really like today I was at Dufferin Mall eating some food, and
Oh,
well, why?
Wait, what do you mean it sounds like that, guys?
Should I not have gone to Dufferin Mall? Is that not the mall? Why? I don't know. I'm from Calgary. I don't know
Make
these
sure
things.
the route to the toilet here is
Why?
full of instructions.
Why?
Dufferin Mall.
What's wrong with Dufferin Mall? It is lovely.
Okay, did you notice
It's
in the
okay
food
as long
court?
as you were eating cinnamon buns.
No,
You notice that in the
buns.
food court,
Well,
it's
then-
all restaurants that are not chains. It's
No,
just like
it's all
one-offs.
chains. There's like a Thai place. There's a
Oh,
McDonald's
you did not get the
place.
Thai place
I didn't
at
get the Thai
Dufferin Mall.
place. I got the Chinese place. But like, it's great. They got the H&M open today, reopened today.
H&M?
Yeah, they got
At
H&M in there.
Dufferin Mall?
They got an H&M in
Wow,
there.
it's a whole new era.
Yeah, it's great.
They also got a huge Walmart.
They got a huge
Oh,
Walmart.
a huge Walmart.
Yeah.
That
You know
doesn't.
it's a high-end mall when they have a huge
Yeah.
Walmart.
Exactly.
It's
Okay,
great.
anyway, so you're eating
Anyways,
at
I was
Dufferin
in there
Mall.
and-
Eaters at the McDonald's at the Walmart, not at the food court.
Yes, that's where you go.
Become the garbage in
They actually have
episode
the
of
best
Kim's
coffee.
Convenience.
They have a pretty good coffee.
Well, at Dufferin Mall, this old man comes up to me and he just looks at me and he's like, "Hey, if you are who I think you are," and he came up and shook my hand and just told me about how much he loved the show and him and his wife love it. And he told me he was American, and he said, as an American moving to Canada, I appreciate the show so much in this time. And so you get people who are.
Wait. He's from America.
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't confuse him with someone from fresh off the boat?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't. Who would I be off on fresh off the boat? Like
don't know.
Eddie Huang?
You would be Asian.
Asian,
You
yeah.
would be,
Yeah.
First question.
Yeah, aren't you Constance Wu from Fresh Off the Boat? Yeah, that's right.
That's
I
right.
play a convincing Asian mother.
That's right.
But he just talked about the show and he was very kind about it. And I love that people, when they do recognize me, usually like shout, "Hey, Kimchee!" because you look at Kimchee like a buddy, or they are very just like, they just talk about the story. They usually have a story related to them and how their family owned a convenience store, or they relate to it. And it's really nice. Like, we're just really happy about it.
Now, does it help you get, chicks or the equivalent to whatever you're attracted to?
I'm a married man, and they're watching right now. So my wife.
Hey, how are you?
Hey!
What's
Yeah.
what's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Tamara.
Tamara,
And,
not Tamara. Tamara.
Tamara.
She hates when you call her Tamara.
Yes, she
Yeah.
does.
Hello, Tamara.
I don't do
She
it.
hates it even worse when you ask her chick questions.
I ask her husband chick questions. Yeah. No, but it gives him the chick. Well, you're not wearing a ring.
I'm not wearing
Where's
a
your
ring.
freaking ring? Oh,
I think
comes
it
to
fell into
Toronto,
place
no
this
ring.
It's
Tamara.
Okay, no.
Call, will you?
Ed, you are. Look, I just usually don't wear it because
You're acting and it would get in the way of the role.
no, I just forget.
Go with me.
I'm not a very. It's just like I just don't wear the ring a lot, and we've talked about it a lot.
Does she wear hers?
She wears hers. Yes.
Wear yours.
I know I should. She actually has it right now. She's keeping it safe because I always lose it when I wear it, so I leave it around the house. But she's watching it with my sons Nico and Mateo.
Nico and Mateo! Hey! Sorry we're talking about your father this way. How old are they?
Kids are watching
3.5 and 6 months.
Oh, 3.5 and 6 months. They have no idea. All they know is, hey,
do
Daddy's
farts
talking to this
tonight.
funny thing on TV. That's all. They don't know what
He's
what
gonna
I'm
be
saying.
Nico's gonna be so pumped. He's watching it right now, and he's gonna be so excited about all this.
Now, they call you Hey Kimchee.
Yeah.
Can you foresee a time when you're like, I am not Kimchee. I am Andrew Fung, an actor.
No, because I come from the improv world.
That sounded German though.
Yeah, like I'm a villain now.
No, he wasn't Colonel Clink. All right,
Yeah,
go on.
Andrew's gonna play Hans Gruber in the remake Die Hard.
Whoa! Yo, start that rumor. Yo, I need that right now. Die Hard 6? Yo, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, Die Hard 6. That'll be as good as Police Academy. Mission to Moscow.
Moscow.
Yeah, all right.
I for me, like, I'm an improv guy, and so for me, like, everything that's happening right now has just been such an honor, and I think that people shout out Hey Kimchee, that I've connected to them in some way, and so I'm happy. I'm happy to connect back with fans, and it's just really nice. And usually people are so nice about it, so why not? Like, I feel
Okay,
like
what about when they're not?
when they're not.
Have you had that in Canada, really?
Just one woman. I was hosting an event at the Science Center in Calgary, and she came up to me. She said, "Hey, you're on that Kim's Convenience," and I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I watched it up until the toilet episode." And I was like, "Toilet episode?"
Oh, that was one of my favorites.
And
when Appa got the run.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
And I was like, wait.
was a great
And I
episode.
was like, why? And she's like, oh, when they went to potty humor, I was done. And I just kind of like laughed, and I'm like, well, I guess we get one chance, hey? And I just kind of like looked at her, and there was this awkward silence. And I was like, well, thanks for watching. I hope you watch it again. And like, I don't know. It's such an awkward thing, and I don't
Tell her,
know
hey,
why.
you should watch this week. You'll really like it. It's a whorehouse episode. The upstairs of the convenience store is turned into a cat house by accident. You'll really like that. Give it a try, you open-minded viewer.
I hope to get her back. I saw her at the Calgary
Don't worry
Comic
about
Expo.
her. You got plenty of people watching
know.
her. You don't need.
But it's people haven't been mean at all, and people I'm glad people.
They're
have been
Canadians.
voting.
Here's the thing about Canadians that I find. Like, I've been to, LA many times, whatever, and when they see celebrities, even in LA where they see them all the time, they run up to, hey, can I have a picture, stuff like that. Canadians are much more respectful. They understand, yeah, that person is on a show, but that person is an actor, and right now is not acting, is not at work.
Yeah.
And they will do is give you the nod,
Yeah.
that acknowledgement, like, hey, I recognize you, I respect your work, but I also respect that you're not at work right now. So
Yeah.
Canadians are much better about things like that.
Yeah.
I used to do, this is sort of an aside, that there's an asshole named Gian Gomeshi, and he worked at CBC, and every time I would walk through the lobby of CBC and I'd see him there in his leather jacket, his like aviator jacket and his windswept scarf, he was always looking around to see if anybody would recognize him because he was like an egomaniac. And so what I would do is I would walk, I would like look at him, like I look at anyone, and then look away, like I didn't recognize him, and then just keep going. Man, that frosted his ass. Like, you don't know me? It's like, no, don't know who you are. All right, but that's an aside.
No, and I hope to never like for me, like it's so exciting right now that when people recognize me. And
How has it changed your life? You're on a show that is one of the first really big Canadian sitcom hits like ever.
Yeah.
And how has that changed your life?
It's changed my life for the better. Like I love that people are having conversations with me, and I love that I'm being included.
Pretty
more
lonely before this?
No, well, like people, people come up and especially in Toronto, like when you walk the streets, people come up and they share stories with you now, and that's really nice that you connect to people. I think for me, the best thing is that the show has connected me with more people in Canada, and I'm happy about that. And then just from like an actor point of view, like it's opened up the door for more projects, and that's been really fun. So doing more shows, more projects has been great, and like everything I get, like I'm always like I'm pinching myself. I'm like, how am I here? How did this happen? Is this real life? So
Don't do that.
don't do that.
Don't do that. Enjoy it while here. Don't go pinching yourself.
Start asking
You're
questions.
a celebrity now. You can pay people to pinch you. Now, but okay, on a personal level.
Yeah.
Now that you're a Canadian performer, now you actually have a regular gig,
Yeah.
so you can eat. Is there something you've been holding off buying for a long time that now that you've got something regular, you decided I'm going to go for it?
I did do something.
was
Okay, so I'm a big fan of shoes and sneakers. I'm a sneaker collector, and so
Some people might call that a fetish.
yeah, some people might.
Well, it depends if you get an erection. Anyway, go on.
I do not get
Okay,
one of those.
I'll take your word
I
for
do
it.
not.
Take your word for it.
Tamara, Tam, I do not.
No, not from sneakers. Not from sneakers.
But there was
Anyway,
a shoe I've wanted for years, a Kanye West Yeezy 2 when he was with Nike, and I really wanted it, and I waited out. And then I was on a flight with Paul, who plays App on the show. We were flying back from Saskatoon, and he just turned over and he like leaned over me on the flight. He's like, "Treat yourself," and so I did, and I treated
they do
myself.
Look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you sure he wasn't talking about the Mile High Club?
No, he was not.
You were on a plane.
We were on a
Talking
plane.
about sneakers.
No, we were on a plane, and he just said, "Treat yourself." And it's actually the thing him and I say each other a lot because he's been building like Ghostbusters props, and that's something that when we first met.
Whoa, what?
So
Really?
he built. So when
That
we
is
first
so freaking cool. I didn't know that about Paul.
yeah, he builds.
so cool.
When we first met, we met at the final callback for Kim's Convenience. We did the toilet scene for Handyman where he's fixing my toilet,
That's right.
and that's when we first met. He tracked me down afterwards, and he's like, "Who are you?" We friended on Facebook, and then he messaged me like a day later, and he found a video where I had built a proton pack. Maybe 2 years earlier.
You did?
I built a proton pack. I spent like a summer gathering the parts, looking at all the tutorials, finding all like the screen made stuff. Built one, electrocuted myself, and then he's like, how did you do it? And I kind of walked him through, and then he built one. So we both have like real legit proton packs.
Have you guys ever crossed the streams?
No, but we're waiting for the day.
Gotta
We're
hook
waiting.
you guys up with the Ontario
We're waiting for the day.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, what's that, Leanna?
Gotta hook them up with the Ontario Ghostbusters.
I think
It's like a whole
he's
club.
reached out to them a
Yeah.
couple times. Yeah.
They've got an
There's a whole club.
ecto and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
My buddy's got a tour van. He bought an ambulance and he gutted it all out so he could put all the band equipment in the back. And he put the Ghostbusters 2 logo on the side. It's fucking badass.
Yeah. I've been looking at like old Honda CRXs because I would love to do like a tuner Ghostbusters Ecto 1.
No.
Just like to be like an old like Honda, like a sweet souped up Honda, but Ghostbusters. So it's the mix of two worlds.
I have to
What color
admit,
Yeezy 2s did you get?
Like the black, they're black with like red lining.
Black.
No,
Yeah,
wait,
they're
black
soda
with
red.
red
yeah.
line. Oh wait,
yeah.
these?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Get some McFlys.
Why is it not?
Yeah,
there we
they
go.
do look from
So it's like these?
the one from Back
Crap.
from the Future.
These ones?
Yeah, those ones. Yeah,
Alright,
those are the ones.
shoes, so
I had
people can get his
so like I had to track a guy down. Like there was a guy on like this Facebook group. I had to track him down, and he had them. And it's when he was with Nike. So he's with Adidas now, and I think that's what all the kids know it as.
Did he wear these?
He
Or
did wear them, and he designed them.
You bought shoes someone wore?
Well, like they've been worn, yes, and that's just part of the sneaker collecting. Like if these are brand new, they're like 5,000 US. And I'm like, I'm not down with that. I can't do that.
It's like McFly money. At that
So you can
Yeah.
treat
Like
yourself,
Justin
you just
Bieber
can't
and
treat
people like that.
yourself.
Yeah, I can treat myself like a certain level, but I got a wife and 2 kids. I gotta be like prudent with my money. Yeah,
They were worn?
they were worn.
All right.
Yeah, don't judge me. Please don't judge me.
I didn't hear that. I have to say that the fact that you knew the Police Academy movies and knew Mission to Moscow, the fact that you built a proton pack and you want to build an ecto, you are far cooler than I could have imagined.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
to say that.
Yes.
You were a giant pain in the ass earlier.
I just was unsure on the protocol on how the show works.
There's no protocol. That's your problem.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're looking for something that wasn't there.
Well, there's 3 jars of mayonnaise, Moose. Why are there 3 jars of mayonnaise
Yeah,
in
Moose.
there?
Why are there 3 jars of mayonnaise, Moose?
One of them's mine, and then the other 2 are just here.
Wait, one of them's yours. The other 2 are just here.
I think they ran out of Vaseline.
Now I have to check the expiry dates on the mayonnaise.
But like 1 jar of mayonnaise had no label on it. Like, why'd you take off the label?
Okay, I don't know what that's.
Okay, I
That
have
was
to check
the
these.
Are there any
That
hairs
was the
in that one?
Vaseline jar.
The Vaseline one.
I had one that was open, but 2 of them are closed, and I had a Compliments brand one. But both
Now-
of the Compliments brands are closed.
Can I ask you why you feel you need a personal mayonnaise?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, like you knew there was mayonnaise in there. You
You
don't
don't
even like
like
mayonnaise?
mayonnaise?
So why do you have mayonnaise?
Are they all different
Personal
types?
mayonnaise.
Is there a miracle whip?
this expired in March?
I just use
Yo, mayonnaise is still good.
I
Yo, that's still good.
Oh,
It's still good.
Fine.
yeah.
It's still
That's
good.
from the guy that ate at Duffer Mall's food court.
Yo, it's still good. It's still good.
Some
Yo,
relish in it.
it's still good.
Not worst after.
It's like brown in the
Is there a
middle.
new?
Yo, is it brown in the middle?
Oh, that's caramel.
That's sugar.
They've added
That's a new
Oh, yo, that mayonnaise isn't good. That mayonnaise is not good.
Stay away.
Yo, Moose, throw out that mayonnaise, man.
Dude, I literally just ate that.
Did you?
Oh, dude, just ate that.
I actually just ate that.
He just ate the brown mayonnaise.
Dude.
It's like, here, show the camera. What are we seeing? What is that?
Oh, your poor
That's definitely
insides.
caramel. That's definitely caramel.
Yeah.
Not bad, but that is not good, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just seen
vinegar's,
a prototype.
smell.
This is the first mixture between mayonnaise and the caramel bar.
Don't put it back in the fridge.
Yeah, why you put it back in the
Totally.
fridge?
Do it.
All right, yeah. Take nothing but a footprint. Leave nothing but a.
I feel like this has gone off the rails. I feel like we have opened up
I've
the.
got something to say.
What do you got?
Oh,
So there is Alfredo in the chat that
Oh, yeah.
would like for you to give a shout to Kimbit, who is
Yep.
the fan club of.
Oh,
Kimchee.
I first have to apologize to Alfredo because how could I mention Kim's Convenience without mentioning the Kimbits? The Kimbits is our fans. They are our fans across Canada, and they're the ones that are doing just such. They're sharing
you know
the show.
what? Yeah, they. I'm a fan of the show, so they
Yeah.
told me that I'm a Kimbit.
You
And
are.
It's like I'll be a fan of the show, but don't call me that.
It's such a cute name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Timbits,
yeah.
Kimbits.
No.
Exactly.
I want to
It's-
make like a little Timbit with like a beard, and that's the Kimbet.
Oh, that's so nice.
Kimbit sounds like what happens when you come out of a pool. You know, that's all you got left of the Kimbits.
Kimbits are so nice, and Alfredo's in Montreal, and he's he started it all with Mike out here, and so we're so thankful for the Kimbits, and we love hearing more and more Kimbit stories, and they're super chill, and even in Calgary, Kimbit Craig took a Timbits box and he made it into a Kimbits box, and that's what our fans are. They're like
Kimbit
caring
Craig?
people. Yeah, Kimbit Craig.
They go by like Kimbit Craig?
They go by that now.
Is this a commune?
No, it's not a commune.
Are they wearing the same running shoes and
No.
waiting for a comment to come?
What did we call orphan black fans? What were they called?
Nerds?
No. There was a name for them.
What was it? I'm not.
Blackies?
super-
No.
Orphans?
No, not those.
Brownies?
No.
No, that's Serenity.
Wow, it doesn't like Google.
It doesn't come up. Well,
It doesn't
all
come
right.
What
up.
Leonardo DiCaprio fans are called.
Oh wait.
What?
Leotards.
Leotards. That's politically correct.
The Clone Club? Does that sound right?
yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Club?
The
It's
Clone Club.
or like Justin Bieber had the believers.
Yeah, no,
Or
that's as bad as Kimbit.
Austin Mahone had Mahoney's, right?
No,
Why do I know this?
I don't know. This is kind of street though, guys. I mean,
Kimbitz
I'm okay
is,
with this.
yeah.
Kimbitz is when you streak in November.
Team Arthur
That's what
should
you wind
read
up
them.
with, guys. Kimbitz. All right, so thanks to them. And anything you want to say to your audience? Anything we can look forward to coming up this year on Kim's Convenience? Do you struggle with your gender identity? Is anything coming up like that?
Well, not as deep as that. That would be a big challenge as an actor. That
Oh, that's right. You're an improv guy, not an actor. That's right. I forgot.
I'm both those things
Yeah,
now.
he's both.
I'm both
Shove
those things
your
now.
head in that mayonnaise. Ed.
But I'm gonna say that I'm really excited for season 2. The stuff they explore this season is great, and this is bigger and we have more fun. And then if you're a fan of me live, I'm hosting the YY Comedy Festival out in Calgary next week, and then at the in November, and if you're in Calgary, I'm doing a 2-night run of my improv show Kill Hard, an improvised action movie where we do all the fights and all the action on stage. Yeah, that's what the show In's Choice saw me in.
Actually sounds
Kill
pretty
Hard.
interesting.
Yeah, we improvise an action
Does
movie
anyone
on
actually
stage.
die?
Many characters die
Not
on stage.
characters.
No one
Right?
actually
And Are
dies.
there injuries?
I've had a few injuries. We've
Okay.
both had a few injuries.
I would love to see that.
Yes.
Because I'm a human being. Well, actually, I'm a puppet. All right. So, Andrew.
Yeah, yes.
People can follow you on Twitter at Andrew Fung.
At Andrew Fung.
P-H-U-N-G.
P-H-U-N-G.
All right.
On Instagram at Andrew Fung. Website andrewfung.com. Or if you want to follow my cute kid, #BabyFung.
Really? Your kid?
Yeah, I got a whole Instagram feed of just my cute boys. #BabyFung. So if you want
That's
to...
possibly perilous. But check that out.
Yeah. And I'm developing. We're currently you and I actually. It's a big announcement. We're developing a reboot of the Police Academy, but not as a reboot, but as Police Academy 9. Yeah. So.
Nice.
Oh, you're doing that with
New
Nick?
Lex Gruber.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
doing
as
it.
of about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're really excited. We feel like.
I'll be Steve Gutenberg and you could be Hans Gruber's cousin.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how we used to do make-up shows in Much Music, by the way. Literally, that's how shows happened. If only that was still the case. So, Andrew Fung, Kim's Convenience, Tuesdays at 9, CBC. I endorse it, which is rare. Thank you for joining us. Are you going to stick around?
I'm going to stick around. Where should I go? What do I do?
Somewhere out of camera range.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go to break. When we come back, talking about Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. There he is again.
I've got a couple of things to say though.
Oh, what?
Oh, Jana.
All right, wait,
first
can you
of
hold
all,
off on the commercial?
Paul came out with a new hashtag,
Yeah.
AdNuts.
Ed Nuts.
That's the Ed fan club.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
No.
Ed
Sean
Nuts.
actually made the name, but Paul did
Yes.
the...
Hashtag
Sorry,
AdNuts.
Sean. Yes, Sean made the name.
Yeah, it used to be Ed Heads.
And also,
Ed Nuts.
I learned something tonight.
Oh, what's that?
There is a town in Canada called Inuvik,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I didn't know about it. And they have a Kimbit there.
In Inuvik.
Yes.
Is that from our friend Dez?
Yes.
Okay, our friend Dez out in Inuvik. You hear that?
Thank you,
You got
Dez.
friends in the frozen north.
We also got my kid watching
Whoa.
us right now.
I apologize for the inweetness.
Oh, look at that guy.
This is like that painting of the doors looking through the doors through the doors. This is.
I love that you guys have the same haircut.
I know.
I cut his hair. I give him fades.
That's
yeah.
so
I cut his hair because
Nice.
he.
Well, because no self-respecting barber will do it since 1987.
No, I got a fade
Fade is coming
today.
back, man.
I got a fade today.
As long as there's a Star Wars movie coming out in theaters, fades are okay.
All right.
True.
That's a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's a good way of thinking about it.
Okay. Can we go to a break? What are we gonna go for?
If it'll run, I'm doing the Max Bear.
Oh, so this is our friend Max Brand giving us an update to Hinterland Who's Who. When we come back, Harvey Weinstein. Not here, but.
A grizzly bear. Now, these grizzly bears are among those animals that you surely don't want to have as a pet. Now, those bears are very huge, and they weigh more than 400 pounds. If they get provoked and start to attack, if they see something that's really nice, they just won't pick on the guy, because that person, seems like he's not there to bother me. He's not there to bother me. I just do love grizzly bears, only when they're stuffed.
For more information about the grizzly bear, contact the Canadian Wildlife Service.
Welcome back to Ed the Sock Lives! Gotta make a new intro. That intro's getting a little long in the tooth, so gotta make a new intro. Don't forget, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com, Ed the Sock Live. Leanna is right on that. Right on that. I've worked with directors where you can have a nap before they put up the frickin' key. Sorry, bottom third. What is it called? Lower thirds now?
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can support us $5, $10 a month, $25 a month. Come on, you won't miss it, but it'll make a big deal to us. It'll give us clean drinking water.
Okay, let's not go there right now. Shout out to Puerto Rico. Let's not go there.
All right, that was more of a lampoon of those old commercials for
Yeah,
poor...
but just too soon, Ed. Too soon.
Yeah, too soon. Probably not right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're offended, fuck off. So, speaking of which, okay, I can go. Yeah, we're going to talk now about, everyone's heard the story about Harvey Weinstein, president of the Weinstein Company in L.A., who was accused, there it is, accused of sexual harassment, got fired from the company with his own name on it, and then more ladies came forward, claimed not just harassment, but sexual assault. And one of the things that really upsets me most about this is I see Weinstein trending, and just with the spelling, I'm thinking it might be a nice story about Irv. Remember Irv Weinstein, WKBW? Remember him, the newscaster? I was hoping this would be some nice thing about Irv Weinstein. Instead, it's a sleaze about Harvey Weinstein.
Do people ever trend for good reasons?
I haven't.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of one. No.
Dead or scandal. That's
Yeah.
the Twitter hashtag.
All right. So you know the whole story, and you know how you can tell when these accusations tend to have more weight than others, because they wind up.
Whoa, we just lost your camera.
My camera went away.
Yeah.
Oh, go to a break. We'll come back.
I hope this works.
I should have changed my camera. Battery.
These chipmunks are the kinds of animals I don't get to see every day in my area. What I do know about them is they love to eat everything from wood to food. I think they eat tree stumps, grass, fruits and vegetables. Most likely to eat a lot of wood. Naturally, these kinds of animals, as some of you folks may know, are wild animals, which I don't think you should want as pets because they'll eat everything, including every wood on your couch, parts of your bed, it's the shelves that have wood, even your hockey stick. And they're pretty fast too. They can run pretty quick.
For a more complete story on the chipmunk, why not contact the Canadian Wildlife Service in Ottawa?
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Camera died. Had to change battery. So as I was saying, how can you tell when these kinds of allegations against somebody are more likely to be true? Because I call it the Spartacus effect. Because one person stands up and says, so-and-so sexually harassed me. And then another one says, so-and-so sexually harassed me. And then so-and-so sexually harassed me. No, so-and-so sexually harassed me. And unlike Spartacus, where they're not really Spartacus, these tend to be women who are coming forward and telling the truth, but were afraid before. It's always like the first one to break the ice. And then they come forward. Because when Johnny Depp was accused by all those things, by his wife, then wife Amber Heard, all you heard from his friends and stuff is that that's not him. That he wouldn't do that kind of thing. His previous wife said he's never done anything like that. That's a case where you got to go, it's possible, but you got to give some benefit of the doubt until the truth comes out. But in case of Harvey Weinstein, just a sleazeball. Just a sleazeball. But you know what it's shown? It's shown me how little people really understand in the public the truth about sexual harassment and sexual assault. First of all, right away after these happen, everyone says, the public says, Other people, they knew. His friends, other people in Hollywood, they knew. No, you know what? They probably didn't know. Here's the reason why. First of all, when people say they knew, those are the know-it-alls who after anything say, oh, I knew it. You can't take them for real. Secondly, just because people work in Hollywood and work in the same industry doesn't mean that everybody knows everybody else's business. You might assume that they all live in like a fire hall and they slide down the pole for a movie role, but they don't. Okay, they don't. They live very private, sequestered lives, so they may not always know the. You know the BTK killer. His family didn't even know that he was a murderer. They lived with him and didn't even know he was a murderer. So no, you wouldn't necessarily know that because the guy looks like a sleazeball, he actually is a sleazeball. Then there's the people who say, well, if they didn't know, they should have known. Why? Why should just being around him mean that you would know that Harvey Weinstein is the kind of guy or is the guy who actually did sexually harass people? The expectation that, yeah, there may have been rumors in Hollywood, but Hollywood is built on rumors. I suspect that if every rumor that comes out negative about somebody is acted on, then nobody would have a career at all. Because Hollywood is built on rumors. You can't believe every rumor. Some rumors are started for malicious reasons, deliberately to bring somebody down. And also, there's, yes, Leanna?
Just, Ed, get back up in frame. I want to get out of this. Okay,
all right.
Thank you.
So you don't know about whether rumors are necessarily true. They're all over Hollywood. You can't assume that because somebody says something, it's true. And often, people will threaten to make a rumor in order to get paid off. And they do get paid off because the people can't afford coming forward and saying they didn't do something. Just being connected with the allegation is bad. So you can't necessarily know that everybody knew or they should have known. Democrats took his money. So what? He's a political contributor. That doesn't mean that they're complicit in his crimes. You think that if every politician had a PI out to do background checks on people who gave them money, nobody would take any money. All right? It's what he did with his money and where he gave it, and if he tried, he did some good with it by putting it in the political system to further politics, fine. It has nothing to do, it does not impugn the character of anyone who took his money. Because if that's the case, then all these Republicans who take money from the Koch brothers and Sheldon Adelson, they're sleazeballs themselves. Now here's the other thing that bothers me, is when they talk about Harvey Weinstein and how he assaulted or came on to him and allegedly said, get them into a hotel room for a meeting and would say, give me a massage or watch me shower. And yeah, people go, ugh, because they look at him and they say he's repulsive, he's gross, as if that makes it worse. As if he was good looking, it would be okay. It wouldn't be quite so bad if the guy was Brad Pitt, but because he's gross, it makes it worse. That's not how it works. When somebody gets unwanted sexual comments, unwanted sexual touching, it doesn't matter if the person's good looking or if they're ugly. What matters is they're doing something they shouldn't be doing and didn't get consent for. So this notion that, it's worse because he's gross, well, yes, he's gross looking and he doesn't, and we'll talk about that afterwards, but the crime itself doesn't change just because somebody's good looking. Because you know what? There are good looking guys who wind up doing these things to women. It's called date rape. Well, can you hold that?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to come to you.
Yeah.
And you know what? He is a rich and powerful man, and people think this is what rich and powerful men do. The truth is that you don't need to be rich. It's just about the power. There's people who control how many hours somebody gets at a retail store, and they can demand sexual favors, and they do. It's nothing to do with money, has everything to do with an imbalance of power. So the guy could be owning a gas bar, and the young lady wants more hours because she has to pay for school. Well, shit like that happens. So it's not exclusively amongst rich people. And the idea that power and money corrupt, now that's bullshit. Power and money only let out the corruption that's already there. If there's no corruption at the core, then the person's not going to be corrupt. But if the person is a shithole right in the center, then having money and power allows them to reveal that. And if this guy, and they always say, well, this is what every guy would do if he could. That's bullshit, okay? If you're a woman who thinks that every guy would do that if he could, then you really need to meet some better men. And if you're a guy who thinks every guy would do it if he could, then you, sir, are an asshole and the kind of guy who would do it if he could. But that is not in man's nature if I had the chance, I would force a woman to have sex or to touch me or watch me shower. That's a lot of bullshit, okay? That is not the truth about what drives men. But I do have to say that this made me think about something that happened with me personally. I used to work at a company, and hold on, the camera's moving. I used to work at a company, and I admit, how do I put this? There were rumors that a certain individual of some power in the company had a form of casting couch, and that he regularly cast on-air talent, female on-air talent, with the rumor of a bed in the office. And everyone would just laugh about it. Everyone, isn't that hilarious? Make little jokes, because in those days, that actually burnished a guy's reputation. The notion that he was, he's getting some pussy. All right, and I admit, I was one of them that made snide comments or made jokes about it, thought it was something funny. But the truth is, it never was funny. At the time, we didn't realize that we should have been saying something better, which doesn't excuse any of us. I don't know that any of these rumors were true. Some of them might have been rumors that were allowed to continue because, like I said, it burnished somebody's image. I don't have any direct knowledge that any of this was actually happening. I do know, I did witness that this individual leered without any compunction, looked right down a woman's top without any compunction. I did see that, and you know what? I didn't say anything, and I feel bad about that years later. So even though the times were different, it's really not an excuse. It was wrong then. It's wrong now, and I'm glad people are stepping forward and saying it's wrong. Let's move over to the panel. Leanna is an expert, noted voice, seriously, on women's issues, feminism, and things of this nature.
Yeah,
Your thoughts?
I'm a bit angry at the chat right now.
Why?
Right? I know,
Because
I agree.
people are agreeing. Just don't put yourself in that situation in the first place.
Who?
Okay, chat. As somebody who has been in that situation more than once, every woman in this industry has some sort of story. If you're over a certain age, hopefully, I hope it's gotten better. I see no evidence of that. But you don't know when it's become that situation. You have, 20 meetings in hotel rooms that are fine, and then you have one meeting that gets weird. Or you're loading gear in, or you're doing a read, or something. You never know. It goes from normal to really freaking creepy human expired mayonnaise in a blink of an eye. And there are so many handshake deals in this industry, and there's so many, it is a very intimate industry. And so this idea that, just don't put yourself in that situation. Well, then you don't work, expert on Facebook. You just don't work if you don't put yourself in that situation. And that's what happened to me. I didn't put myself in these situations. So guess what? I got branded a problem. I got branded difficult to work with. I got branded a troublemaker because I did call this stuff out and I did say it was wrong. I called it out when it happened to me. I called it out when it happened to other women, and people didn't believe me. And I totally understand why everybody kept their mouth shut, because I was one of these people who 10 years ago was saying this was wrong, who 15 years ago was saying this was wrong. And all I did was end up on the scrap heap of the television industry. So don't go around blaming the women, and don't go around blaming the people who kept quiet unless they were on the board. If somebody in a corporate position, then that is corporate malfeasance, that is poor government. It doesn't matter how a woman dresses. It doesn't matter if a woman is trusting. It doesn't matter if a woman wants that dream to happen so badly that she doesn't listen to her inner voice that says this is kind of sketch. That's what guys like Harvey Weinstein prey on. They prey on dreams. This is an industry of dreams, and you can't make it happen unless you take those risks. You have to be able to trust the people who are around you, because where do we draw the line? Okay? Do we draw the line? Don't go to that guy's hotel room. Don't meet that guy for lunch. Don't meet that guy for breakfast. Don't do a nude scene for the guy. Don't do a partial nude scene for the guy. When does it end? When do we stop victim blaming? So all you know-it-alls who are like, just don't put yourself in that situation. Every second you are alone with someone is a potential situation. It doesn't matter if it's in a bedroom, if it's in a boardroom, or if it's in someone's office. And we're like, well, just don't put yourself in that situation. That means men on the other side won't take private meetings with women because they don't want the false accusation. So just get that idea out of your heads. And I'm pulling an M&M right now. I know,
Do
it's
it.
all like,
No, do it.
you know, you can't support me and this. Don't go there with, don't put yourself in that situation.
You know what? Why?
What is wrong with you? Seriously, that you would write that on the internet. I know I'm being rough on this person in the chat.
Who is this asshole?
No, I'm not going to say the name. We're not
Well,
going
whoever
to.
you are, you're an asshole.
We're not going to.
She's
And I know
saying-
I'm chat shaming.
She's saying that she didn't mean that. though.
Yeah,
But
saying
she wrote
sorry,
it,
I'm
though.
sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, but you know what? As someone who was in that situation, as someone who got groped, as someone who got harassed, and was basically told, oh, this is the cost of doing business, get used to it, honey. And because that happened to me, I wouldn't happen to other women. I'm like a freaking mama bear with young women in this industry. I just want to protect them so hard because it happened to me. And I did complain, and I was just treated like a troublemaker, and it happened more than once. It happened in Canada, it happened in the US. It happens. And it was treated like, oh, this is just what you're supposed to deal with.
How come?
And then guess what?
What?
You end up feeling like you were stupid for ever wanting to be part of this industry in the first place. You do end up internalizing that blame. And then you question every outfit you wear, or every haircut you get, or every makeup style you do. Show too much cleavage, show not enough cleavage. You guys see, I clearly don't care. This is sort of a joke. But you see what happens when I wear a shirt that doesn't show cleavage? It stretches like this. I hate this. Screw it. But do not go to that place where it's like, oh, you set yourself up for that. And I know we make a lot of jokes about victim blaming. I don't believe in this safe space stuff. But there is a point where you don't understand how this business works, or Silicon Valley, or, you know, all these other places where there's a thing about the Amazon Studios head
any
just
type
had
of
to resign.
corporate
Yeah,
environment.
anything. You have to be behind a closed door. And it should not make a difference what the gender of the other person behind that closed door is. It should be professional and safe and appropriate and businesslike, and everybody is just looking for a good product. It should not be about the power dynamics. It should not be about what I can get from this other person. It should just be about the art or the work or the comedy or whatever it is. And a woman can't tell jokes when she's constantly worried if her shirt's too low, or her skirt's too short, or her heels are too high. So fuck that noise. I'm sorry. I'm tired of hearing this crap. I am tired of hearing that it's my fault. I'm tired of hearing that it's another woman's fault. I'm tired of hearing that it's Angelina Jolie's fault, or Jennifer Aniston's fault, or Gwyneth Paltrow's fault. I hate the fact that, you know, Hillary Clinton had to explain why she wanted to be president, and no other man had to be. Why do you want to be president? I am tired of this double standard. I am tired of guys like Harvey Weinstein being like, well, what did you expect? When we have to choose dignity or some sort of public participation. It doesn't matter if it's art, it doesn't matter if it's commerce, it doesn't matter if it's business, it doesn't matter if it's politics. Women are expected to sacrifice our dignity to be anything. And I'm freaking done with that. You know, all joking aside, I know this is supposed to be a funny show. There is nothing funny about this whole thing.
No.
And just, I was not gonna go off like this, but chat made me do it.
Well, somebody in the chat provoked that. And how come nobody after a plane crash says, well, people on the plane should have known not to get on the plane?
That's actually not true.
You know,
Believe it or
really?
not, that is not true.
You
When
know-
I was 6 and my friend died in a plane crash, people tend to blame the victim.
How do you say, well, you should have known planes crash?
No,
Like,
it was interesting.
okay, in general, that doesn't happen.
No,
When-
it does happen. Victim blaming is a real thing.
When people go
people
into a
don't wanna
variety
believe-
store and get shot because they shouldn't have been buying milk. You know, no, it's very rare for that to be the first reaction of people. Well, they just shouldn't have been there then. They should have known better. You know what? Here's the thing. Not only does it happen to women, it happens to men.
Yeah.
James Vanderbeek came forward to say that it had happened to him.
Well, the Terry Crews thing was a bit more apples to apples. Vanderbeek.
Well, that's why, you know that meme of James Vanderbeek crying on the internet? That's probably what caused it. Is the pain of that.
No, come on, let's be
But
real.
it happens to, especially with gay. There's a lot of powerful gay men in Hollywood. It happens to pretty men too. It absolutely
there
does.
are serious rumors.
Is masseuse.
Okay,
There
that's
are
never been
serious
proven.
rumors about dudes.
Yeah, it's never.
unproven either.
Well, it's never been unproven either. Thank you, noted jurist Nick.
The Terry Crews thing is kind of messed
CNN.
up, and that's actually kind of funny that you said apples to apples too. But that's still like it's still a thing. If you get groped by a man or a woman, and you
Yeah.
are a man or a woman, and it doesn't matter if that man or woman that's groping you is attractive or not, and if you don't want that touching, that's
Yeah, you know what?
Okay,
Or
but
right,
but
you know,
but
like-
in fairness, it's not ugly or pretty. It's Harvey Weinstein looks like that guy. You know, it's not a question of him being It's not a question of him being an ugly man.
He looks like Fred Flintstone would to me.
He's trying to make himself look as slovenly as possible because that's part of the power. You know, if a guy like George Clooney in like an Armani suit and well done hair, and I mean Clooney would be creepy because he's married and his wife is awesome, but it is part of it that these guys just look like bleh. And then they're like, hey, and it's like, ugh.
So what you're saying
part of the power
is that
dynamic.
part of the power trip.
The fact that they have power.
You
and
have
these
to.
girls work so hard to get.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron to
Yeah,
say
we
that.
spend 3 hours getting ready, and this guy shows up with a mustard stain on his shirt. Fuck that. But
That's part of the.
what they
That's
do.
part of the power. That's part of rubbing someone's nose and how much power they have. Here's the other thing. Well, there is this obviously the thing with Harvey Weinstein. And by the way, the people, the board saying that nobody in the company knew. That's bullshit. I read their whole explanation, and basically what it was a lot of people saying, "Okay, don't tell me the details about this because then I'll have to do something." It was a lot of people trying to get plausible deniability. You know how some people draw Superman's crest by drawing the blank spaces instead of drawing the actual S? Well, that's the thing. That was the case with the Weinstein people at the company. They were in the blank spaces, but you could still tell what the symbol was. So it was just bullshit. They knew with all those payoffs. And there's another thing here, which is that there's a sexual component now with Harvey Weinstein and with women. But you know what's going to eventually have to come to the fore? The fact that there is abuse by management of people that is not sexual, but is still psychologically damaging. There are so many assholes out there in positions of power. Assholes. Lousy, rotten people. They're insecure, and so they take that out on everybody around them. I've seen workplaces poisoned by stupid pieces of crap who should never have been in a management position. Somehow they wound up there, and they're toxic. They make everyone around them sick. You go in to close the door for a meeting, and they rip you a new asshole. That's not good management. If you have to yell at somebody, then you have failed as a manager. But they don't hear that. There's a lot of abuse that goes on, especially now when the economy has been shit for years and no one wants to risk their job. They're not going to do a Johnny Paycheck and say, take this job and shove it. They sit there and they take it and they go home and they drink or they do some kind of behavior to try to forget. We really need to start focusing on not just sexual harassment, but harassment. Okay? Enough of these bullshitters. Because you know what? Yeah, John Gomeshi had a sexual component to what he did at CBC, and so it got attention. But there are other people I know of in the TV industry who behaved exactly the same way without the sexual component, but all the harassment, nothing ever frickin' happens to them. They get promoted. So we need to start worrying about I'm an asshole, okay? But I'm your asshole, okay? I bully the bullies. I'm here as sort of I'm kind of an antivirus, okay? An antivenom.
You're an antivirus?
Yes.
Can you do something about the mayonnaise in the fridge?
That's beyond my goals. I punch up, okay? I speak loudly for people who can't speak loudly. But I would never go and use this power to beat up on somebody who can't take it. I would make fun of celebrities. Fuck, you think they give a shit what I say?
Well, some of them do. Some of them did get upset, and then you backed off. I was there for a lot of that you never intended to upset anybody. But, I mean, this is the thing about the Weinstein thing. He probably comes on to women the same way he negotiates, which means you come on full court press, you take as much as you possibly can. When they go, no, line crossed, you act offended, and then you move on to the next thing. I mean,
Well, they
this
use
is
it
a
to throw
habit
somebody
with
off
these guys.
balance, too.
Well, it's so aggressive, and the thing is, in Hollywood, people have people so that the people can fight with the other people, and then you can go golf with the people your people are fighting with, you know?
She's not
It's
wrong.
So
Be
messed
friends
up.
She's not wrong.
Yeah, no, it's just like the loyals will be fighting, or the agents will be fighting. This is what they do. They just fight like this. But
No, don't do that. You're going to look like Trump.
But,
They're
like,
going to say they're going to say you look like Trump when he was making fun of that reporter.
Oh no, that was something different. We're not doing that. But they do. They fight, and they fight for years and years and years because they're getting their 15% or their 20% or their retainer, and so they're making money. Everybody's happy. They're siphoning off the people going out, working hard for a living. They stretch it out as long as they can so they
She
can
works
make
hard
boatloads of
for the money, to
Yeah.
quote Donna Summer.
And they're just hanging out because the same way, Ed, you said the board is removed. That's how the whole industry works. They don't want to know how the sausage is made. People think who Meryl Streep knew.
Funny
No.
you would say sausage.
Yeah, no. You said he worked hard for the money. Okay, you started this. But there's, somebody like Meryl Streep does not know. Because you're a 23-year-old actress. You're in the same room with Meryl Streep. You're already in awe. What are you supposed to do? Nice to meet you, Miss Streep. Harvey Weinstein harassed me. You don't do that. Like this idea, she did not know. She is kept in a box. They don't want to upset her because she's the brilliant Meryl Streep. Of all
Think they
the
keep her in a
people-
box?
Oh, you've seen some of the comments that she has made.
Hope they have
over the
air
years.
holes.
She lives in a humidor.
She does. She's pretty out of touch. If you've seen any sort of comment she's made in like the last 5 years, she's really in a bubble. And
Well,
so,
all these really rich people they're protected from circumstances. And you know what happens when that bubble is popped? You get Donald Trump, who can't understand why everyone in the world isn't kissing his ass like everyone did before when he wasn't in public life.
Okay,
Because
but
you get people around you who just shield you from stuff.
But you want to know.
I don't have that, by the way, because I'm in Canadian show business.
Do you
Okay,
wanna
no one
know
wants
why-
to shield me. No one wants to be around.
Do you want to know why Harvey Weinstein happens?
Why?
Because Billy Bush lost his job and Donald Trump is president.
Well, there's that. Billy Bush also apparently was a giant asshole.
Yeah, but he didn't have as much power. There wasn't as much invested in him, so he got turfed by whoever did Access Hollywood, and Trump just went on like whatever. What do you expect from guys like that?
Yeah, what the
Locker room
Harvey
talk,
Weinstein
locker room
was fired
talk.
from his own company.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Trump is president for admitting that he grabs pussies.
Well,
Or
that's
bragging.
not why.
They
It's
have
in
never
spite
even
of that.
happened.
They didn't vote. Oh, hey, the guy grabs pussy. Let's vote for him.
Well, I'm
It was
just
in
saying,
spite of that.
it was
There might have been some people who
common
thought that.
household knowledge at that time that that's what he
Certainly,
did.
the American
that's
Association of
because-
Pussy Grabbers
Wasn't in
definitely
the room,
supported
he
him for
was
that.
there, just said
But
that.
that's because the media created a
Landmark
false
day,
equivalency. Oh, but emails. Oh, they're both bad. Next. Our
All
choice
right.
is easy.
So this is an important topic, and we've discussed it, and I hope those of you who are watching realize that everything can be made funny. Humor can be attached to things because it helps to illustrate sometimes greater injustices, but that doesn't mean everything is funny in and of itself. But you know what is funny in and of itself? Is this headline from this tabloid that I saw.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
can you-
the treeware. This
Yeah.
messed me
I
up
was ju- I
so
know.
much this week. I'm like, where is it? Where is the asset? Oh, it's here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Show
I
the,
guess-
the-
I
show
guess
the
we'll
show the
use-
headline.
I should have taken a picture of this.
It's okay, show the headline to your camera.
There we go.
There you go. If you look at the top, it says, Nostradamus, I predicted hurricanes and North Korea missile crisis. Now I'll tell you what's next. As if he's,
I was just
yeah, he's
as you were talking, I was like, what is this?
yeah, I think he lived in the 16th century. You have lots of magazines which say Nostradamus predicted this. This is the first time I've seen him actually acting like a professional wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
I predicted hurricanes in North Korea. I was just
knows it all.
fascinated by this, so I had to buy it so we could show it. Who
but
thought
you
this was
bought
a good idea that he predicted? I predicted it. Now I'll tell you more. Like, this is absurd.
And your camera slipped. I can't slip back because it's like showing your nads. There we
Oh,
go.
all right.
Okay, there we go.
That would be all right.
Yeah.
But show the back of that.
Okay, I mean, to me, once you see like, hang on, switching back.
All
Once
right.
you see like Nostradamus, what does it tell you about the accuracy of all the other stories? Like this.
Yeah, what did Nostradamus say about them?
And then at the end,
Did Nostradamus predict Oprah Winfrey's diet?
Ava, True Touch.
Okay, this is freaky.
this is creepy.
This is so.
Is that
What?
a fake baby?
This
Yeah,
is so
no, I hope it's not a real.
creepy.
Yeah, they're selling real babies, Anthony, on the
Okay,
back of the
Okay, now,
tabloid.
okay.
Real kids.
Take away the
I
image.
don't know what's
Okay,
weirder.
take away the image. What do you think this is about?
Thanksgiving?
It says True
fake
Touch.
Kitties?
Crafted in oh-so-soft silicone for the ultimate in realism. You are not thinking baby.
And it says True Touch.
I'm thinking a few steps
Well,
before the baby.
What's
Yeah.
It's
what
still
the
related
hell?
it's still related to boobs, I guess.
I've seen one of these dolls in a car seat in the back of a car once, and it was like in the summer, and I was like, "Hey, there's a baby in there. There's a
No,
baby."
those are pretty cool.
Oh, it's one of those. Oh, why there should? This is an uncanny valley thing. Dolls and babies shouldn't. They should look like dolls. They shouldn't look like actual living things. That's just a little too freaky. Like,
Why do you want a realistic
No,
baby?
that's not even that freaky. Freaky are the ceramic dolls.
oh, that's a different kind of
Those are scary
freaky.
in a cool way.
Freaky.
That's a different kind of
they
freaky.
There's a bunch of pedos
That
out
is
there buying a
objectively
bunch of these
freaky.
dolls.
This is the thing,
It
right?
is.
Like,
Well, these dolls aren't old enough for Nambla, but
I mean, look, you even got kind of the like, that looks vaguely coquettish. Like, oh my god, I'm so
water?
creeped out. Like,
posing.
why are you showing baby butt?
This is like Kathy Bates in Misery kind of shit. You know, somebody, you go to their house and there's like 19 of these dolls
No,
dressed
it's not
different
a fabric
ways.
softener product.
the write-up.
Somebody's asking if it was a
The
fabric
write-up is horrific.
Read it.
Ava, by award-winning artist, we will protect the guilty, feels so lifelike that you'll never want to put her down. She's crafted of true touch silicone, which feels as velvety soft and supple as a baby's newborn skin. Gently squeeze her adorably pudgy cheeks. Hold her and experience the full weight of her little body in your arms. Admire the delicate hand painting and her silky smooth hair rooted by hand.
Oh my god, I got totally this wrong. I thought it was like a commercial
I'm gonna throw up in the
for
mayonnaise.
fake, for like breast attachments.
No,
Oh.
no, it's just a fake baby.
That's... No.
Fake baby
And then
pedos.
it says this doll is not a toy but a fine collectible.
Baby.
Yeah, just like a regular baby. Anthony
my
says.
God.
That's just like a regular baby. I don't know. The thing is, it's an ad on the back page, which takes money. There's got to be a market for this. Where are these people? Who
Yeah, and
are
of
these?
course-
They may live next door to you. They may work with you. You don't know. They may have these things at home.
Meanwhile, J-Lo is apparently practicing voodoo on A-Rod.
It just says magic spell. Doesn't necessarily say.
No, do you see the voodoo doll at the bottom?
Oh,
Like they put a little fetish doll in there. Like, what the hell,
Okay,
man?
well, I mean, I believe that,
think
though.
this is racist.
all right.
You know? Like, what?
All right. What? Okay. Enough of that. So
Isn't
that's.
this Trump's buddy that publishes this
Yeah,
stuff?
Trump's buddy publishes every time you see a story about Hillary
Now
Clinton.
we understand
It's
a lot of
because
things.
Trump's buddy publishes all those magazines.
And this is fake news.
Yeah, there you go. All those magazines come from the same company. Believe it or not. So that's our show. I want to thank Andrew Fung. Andrew, you still here? Come on in. Come on in.
I'm here.
Here's Andrew.
I'm here. Hello.
I'm here. How are you? So did you enjoy your time here with us?
I enjoyed my time very much, seeing you all interact and work. And look at Moose.
Moose! Yeah.
Did absolutely nothing,
He was
but on
checking on the
camera
nail.
the whole time.
Well,
It's
he's-
commitment.
Andrew, can you plug the shows you've got coming up again? Because I think people may have missed them.
I got the YY Comedy Festival in Calgary coming up next weekend, and then I'm doing a 2-night run of Kill Hard, my improvised action movie at the Loose Moose Theater in Calgary on November 3rd and 4th. For more information, just follow me on Twitter at Andrew Fung.
All right. Andrew Fung, PH.
PH.
Yeah,
PH.
Andrew Fung. All right, Andrew. Thanks to you and to Tamara and Mateo and Nico.
You remembered their names.
Well, I remembered one of them.
Mateo?
So
Is it Mateo?
Nico and Mateo.
yeah,
That's a great name.
yeah. So best to them. Thank you. Best with Kim's Convenience.
Thank you.
I really do think you should have had me on this year to play a role. But I'll let that slide pass. Come on, wouldn't I be great as like I own like the hairdresser store next door, the barber shop. I own the barber shop next door, and I just drop in to talk with Appa. And both of us are like jerky.
I will pass it along to
Come on,
the
would that
team.
not be inclusive?
It would be very inclusive.
You know what was amazing is you had on one of the episodes the guy from that commercial with the shirt that wasn't ironed. You know that British guy?
Oh, that's my friend. That's my improv partner.
Really?
Gavin Williams is my improv partner.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, Gavin Williams. Him and I do improv in Toronto together. We've known each other.
Does he
for like-
really have shirts that don't look ironed?
Sometimes, but he's actually a pretty good dresser. He's got some pretty on point T-shirts.
Or I like that guy.
But yes, that's
Yeah.
funny that you
I
the
noticed that.
the bounce
yeah.
things.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah.
All right. So Kim's Convenience Tuesdays 9 o'clock CBC. Don't forget to follow me at Ed the Sock. Don't forget to let your friends know about at Ed the Sock, the real Ed the Sock here at Facebook. And thanks tonight to Anthony in the wings.
Alfredo wants us to call you a Kimbit, Ed.
Yeah.
So you're a Kimbit.
You're a Kimbit from now
Hey,
on.
Alfredo.
Kimbit.
Kiss this.
Kimbit. No,
Okay.
that's harassment. That's
All right.
harassment, Ed.
All right.
Kimbit.
All
You're a
right.
Kimbit.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
Kimbit.
all right.
You're on
I
the
don't-
team.
I don't hear any of you.
Kimbit.
Thanks to Nick on audio. Thanks to Giada on our social media. Thanks to Liana for pulling it all together with the behind the console. Hope Raya feels better and Lonnie's off the ice. And we'll see you again next week at 9 o'clock. Until then, I'm Ed the Sock. I'm nobody's puppet. Don't you be either. Aloha. Hey!